The second thing would be a postseason ban. And again, thanks to that Banner Society story and then just looking up some stuff, by my count, of this current 68 Power 4 college football teams, do you know how many have been banned from the postseason at some point in the history of their football programs of the 68?
20?
34.
Oh.
So half for a total of 105 seasons. So this is more common. And also, if you're throwing stones, maybe check yourself to see if this ever happened to your football team before. So, because Michigan so far is a program that has not ever had a postseason ban in football. By my count, current SEC teams, 10 of the 16 have faced a postseason ban, including Auburn being banned from the postseason in 1956, 57, 58, 59, 60, 79, 80, 93, and 94. So I'm just thinking about like,
good for them.
Ole Miss, 87, 88, 89, 95, 96, 17, 18. So there are just some programs who major in this kind of stuff. So 10 of the 16 in the SEC. Current Big 10, 9 of the 18. USC, 59, 82, 83, 2010, 2011. Michigan State, 76, 77, 78. So of our northern teams, I have 12 of our 28 who have ever faced a postseason ban. Michigan State, Illinois, Penn State, Washington, Ohio State, Minnesota, Indiana, Oregon, Kansas State, Kansas, Colorado, and Cincinnati. Quite a run there for Kansas
I have a
State.
question.
Yeah.
What were Indiana and Kansas doing that got them postseason football?
I don't have time to look all of it up, but it's Indiana's was in 1960 and Minnesota's was in, Minnesota's was in 1991. So I'm just, we don't have time to go into it all on the show. So a bowl ban, the point of this is a bowl ban would certainly be more common than a vacated title. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really do it anymore. Arizona State is the last bowl ban in 2023, but it was self-imposed, trying to get out in front of it. And the one that people are comparing a lot here too is Tennessee did a gazillion things wrong. And on the press release for when Tennessee a couple years ago had their hearing and then their final decision, this is how it began. Over the course, this is how the release from the NCAA. Over the course of 3 seasons, the Tennessee football program committed 18 level 1 violations, encompassing more than 200 individual infractions, most of which involved recruiting rules violations and direct payments to prospects, current student athletes, and their families, according to a decision released by the NCAA Committee on Infractions panel. As a result, Tennessee failed to monitor its football program, and they didn't get a bowl ban. So here's the thing. There's a standard, a level 1 standard that if they decide your penalties overall are level 1, you're supposed to get a bowl ban by the book. Mm-hmm. But 2 things happened with the Tennessee thing. One is they said Tennessee really cooperated, and they gave them so much credit for cooperating. They said, we're not going to give you a bowl ban. And the other thing is a couple years ago, the NCAA decided we don't really want to do bowl bans because we don't want to penalize future players. So what they did to Tennessee is they fined them like $8 million, which is they fined them the amount of money that they would make from going to the postseason and going to bowls, right? But they didn't actually ban them from the bowl. So they want to hurt you monetarily. So Michigan could be hurt monetarily here. But the NCAA wants to get out of the business of bowl bans. So I just think we have to understand that. There's a million. Tennessee did so much stuff. They got caught doing so much stuff. No bowl ban. So that's a part of this too. It was much more common in the past. And then also, how much has Michigan cooperated? Well, it seems like they've kind of been fighting on some stuff. But maybe they've been cooperating on some other stuff. And this is where the NCAA gets you. There's stuff that the NCAA talks about in cooperation. Some of the things that can get you bonus points for cooperating is pointing out people that the NCAA should talk to that they wouldn't otherwise know about. So this is like committing a crime and the cops coming to your house and being like, hey, listen, man, If you cooperate, this is going to be much better for you. Is there anybody who like knows what you did that we wouldn't know to talk to that you can point us toward so that we can definitely nail you, but we'll give you a break on the sentencing for you pointing out your friends that you told, yeah, I'm going to rob the store. We don't know who drove the getaway car. Could you give us his number? And if you do that to the NCAA, they'll give you a break.
Nice.
If you run yourself through with the sword, they'll clean up the blood. It's crazy. So they kind of want to get out of the business of this. So I think that matters. Like, I was not an expert on that context until digging into this stuff. I just think people should have that in their heads.
It's good to know, but I also wonder if like the NCAA, which is getting increasingly marginalized in its power to control anything in college football, might want one last hurrah with the opportunity to hammer a team.
They could. Tennessee was not that long ago. Tennessee was kind of like it was a couple years ago, like as we were entering the modern world here, and they kind of didn't do it. And I think, again, it's like 18 level 1 violations and then 4 more and something else. I think it's 22 level 1 violations for Tennessee. And I think Michigan's been accused of 6 at the moment. So I do think Tennessee's a decent threshold of, if they didn't do it to them, are they going to do it now?
Mm-hmm.
So vacating wins as opposed to vacating titles, fines, scholarship reductions. I have no idea what might happen there. But to me, all those type of penalties fall under more common penalties, right? So I didn't dig into everything there, but if you run through the list of schools that have had vacated wins in recent times, it's as long as your arm. Vacating wins. People do that all the time. So anyway, what do you think of this context?
I don't know that it. I mean, I guess it leads me to believe that maybe a title being vacated is not on the table, just because of how much of an outlier that would be. I don't know that it provides me much more clarity on what I think is going to happen, only because of the unprecedented nature of the allegations.
Yeah,
and that also, like, it's combined. They can kind of lump it all together, can't they? Like the NCAA too, with like the stuff with the recruiting, the stuff with maybe even Matt Weiss, and then the stuff with obviously the Connor Stallion, like all of those things getting thrown into the same pot. It's just really hard to kind of wrap your mind around.
They don't like repeat stuff.
Yeah.
If you've done stuff before, now you're doing something again. They don't like that. So I think all that does matter.